Saw the video.
Yeah. So I should do that.
Okay.
Scotch you can make a rough. You didn't plan on having scotch. Maybe you always plan on having scotch.
So yesterday we finished the Gemara that we learned from the Aroin that a sukkah has to be a height of 10 tvachim.
Not so good.
And that a sukkah, right? Exactly. A rishus is created at the height of 10 tvachim. We learn from the Aroin that Hashem, we know that Hashem, the Brisa taught us, Hashem never descends into a man's domain. And we determined that Hashem descended only to the top of the Aroin, which is at the height of 10 tvachim. Below that, he didn't descend. So, what we see from there, listen carefully, we see from there that at 10 tvachim, a new rishus begins. 10 tvachim is one rishus, and then after it's a new rishus. It's not important for our sugya, it's not important for our sugya to know about the details about the Shechina. We just need to know, where does a new rishus begin? And we learned that from the Aron, that a new rishus begins at a height of 10 tvachim. That's what we learned from the Aron. New rishus begins at the height of 10 tvachim. So the Gemara now, and we did say before that the Shechina doesn't descend below 10, and man does not ascend to the highest 10 tvachim of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's rishus. Says the Gemara.
So, we're going to explain. So how do we see from there that a sukkah needs to be 10?
Because very good. A sukkah is a rishus. A sukkah is a rishus. A sukkah is a domain. Is a distinct independent domain, and we want to know, if you have to make a dira, how much is a rishus? So minimum is 10 tvachim. That's a sukkah has to be at least a minimum 10 tvachim. But if it's less than 10 tvachim, it's not considered a rishus. Says the Gemara here. The Gemara now says. The Gemara now asks, so we're 4 lines from the top of a very interesting Gemara. The Gemara analyzes, does the Shechina never descend below 10? Below 10? Does the Shechina never go below 10? Vaksiv, but the pasuk says, Vayered Hashem al Har Sinai, and Hashem descended on Har Sinai. Put a question mark. Vayered Hashem al Har Sinai. Hashem descended on Har Sinai. So that's touching the ground. On the mountain. The Gemara answers, Lamala me'asara tfachim. He remained above 10 tvachim of the mountain. So the Gemara answers, Lamala me'asara tfachim, period. But he remained above 10 tvachim off the mountain. Clear. It's a straightforward Gemara, but it's a question-answer. Question-answer.
That every single part of the mountain is considered the ground for 10 tvachim.
Exactly.
That's 10 tvachim. It could be around the side.
Right. Exactly. So this is the tip of the mountain. The Gemara now asks, but it says, now this is talking about. Not yet. This is talking about that when Mashiach comes, Hakadosh Baruch Hu, it says will stand on Har Zeisim, and it's interesting. He'll split the mountain. He'll take revenge on all the goyim. We should be zeichet to see it soon. And the pasuk says v'amdu raglov, and his feet will stand by yoimahu. Now this is metaphorically speaking. Hakadosh Baruch Hu does not have feet. Kiviyachol v'amdu raglov. And his feet will stand on that day al Har Hazeisim, on Har Hazeisim. Question mark. And so you see from here that the Eibishter will stand on Har Hazeisim, so that the Shechina will descend below 10. The Gemara answers again, Lamala me'asara tvachim. It remains above 10 tvachim. It doesn't touch the ground. It won't go to the ground. It will remain above 10 tvachim. Period. The Gemara now asks, for the Olu Moshe, the Eliyahu, the Marai, a new thing. And Moshe and Eliyahu, did Moshe and Eliyahu not ascend to the heavens, the Marim, to the heavens? But the pasuk says.
So why are we going to Eliyahu now?
Oh, because we know that Moshe. We only know that 2 people descended to Shemayim, Moshe and Eliyahu. So we're saying so we know that, we know that's a given. The Moshe and Eliyahu, I know, ascended to Shemayim. So where it says all Moshe and Eliyahu to the highest point in Shemayim, right? Which is entering the 10th vachim. But the pasuk says, Moshe Allah El Holakim. Moshe ascended to Shemayim, to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Put a question mark there. The Gemara answers, Lamata me'asara. He remained below 10 tvachim. Yeah, you're right. He went to Shemayim, but still, that could still be called heaven. But it's not the highest point in heaven. The highest point in Shemayim, which is 10 tvachim. Now the Gemara says,
10 tvachim over the top of Har Sinai is very high.
What? No, but this is the highest ten tefachim of heaven.
But then the Aron is low. The Aron they put it a lot lower than our Sinai. He comes always 10 tefachim. The Gemara is trying to say he's coming always 10 tefachim. To whatever it is about to be 10, to that it comes 10.
Right there.
Whatever surface of earth.
So
So they come
even though
to
it
10.
looked like his
So they
Sinai
put
was on top of the mountain,
From our Sinai,
it still wasn't
10.
one tenth
That's
of
the big
over
question.
our Sinai, which is what we said
No,
earlier.
it wasn't above 10 tefachim. It could have been many miles.
No.
But the highest
to
10
Moshe.
tefachim are Shemayim. One second, I want to clarify one thing. There are three. Exactly. There are one second. Yuda, listen to this. There are three separate rishuyas. There are three domains. There's the bottom 10. That's Adam. Then there's millions of miles, and then you have
Giga.
Yes, 500 years it takes to go through one rakia to the other.
and then after a few thousand years, you get the top 10 tefachim. You cannot penetrate that top 10 tefachim.
So
That's what Moshe went
not
up,
within
But
those 10.
not right.
He
You
went
remain below.
right up.
And you know how we know? You know
Right.
you only want to ride that we know? Because it says that the Malachei HaSharet wanted to push him down.
So
Right?
hold on. Look what's going on over here. Look what's going on. No. Baksiv, the pasuk says, I'm sorry. Baksiv, the pasuk says, Vayal Eliyahu b'sa'ara, and Eliyahu went up in a whirlwind. Hashemayim, to the heavens. Question mark. So okay, you answered Moshe Rabbeinu, but Eliyahu it says went up. The man says Lamata Me'asara. He still remained below the 10 tefachim, the highest 10 tefachim.
It's a great shagam time.
Baksiv, and the pasuk says, Ma'achiz Pnei Chisei. He allowed him to hold. Hashem allowed him to hold Kisei, Pnei Kisei, the face of the throne. Ma'achiz. He allowed him to hold Pnei Kisei, the face of the throne. Okay, 1 second. We're going to continue reading the
I'm
pasuk.
going to say it's more than 10 tefachim.
Parshes.
Less.
1 second. Parshes alov ananai. Parshes. He spread alov on him ananai, his cloud. Let's see what's going on here. This is actually a pasuk in Iyab. Now the Gemara will explain it. Okay. For Amar
That
Rabbi.
starts with the pasuk.
That's a pasuk. Ma'aches pnei kisei. He allowed him to hold pnei kisei, the face of the throne. Parshes. He spread alov on him anana, his cloud. V'amar Rab Tamchon, and Rab Tamchon said, Malamid. This pasuk teaches us Shapiris Shakai, that Hashem spread Miziv Shchinasai, from the sum of his radiance. Miziv Shchinasai. Va'anonai, and his cloud, Allah on Moshe. Question mark. So Moshe got to the Kisei HaKavod over here. That's obviously in the 10 Tvachim. That would imply that he got up there and Hashem spread his radiance over him. This is what's going on is what Yehuda was referring to. The Malachim wanted to harm Moshe Rabbeinu, and Hashem said, "Take a hold of the throne." And Moshe Rabbeinu took a hold of the throne. So where answers Lamata Me'asara. The answer is he still remained below 10. Even when the glory was spread over him, the radiance was spread over him, he remained below 10.
Of the top 10.
Of the top 10. The answer is Mikomakayim, however, nevertheless, he took a hold of the throne, the face of the throne, it says, which is only possible in the top 10.
It means that Hashem's share has to be less than 10 tvachim.
This obviously means that he's in the highest point. The Kisei HaKavod is the highest. So it says that he took a hold of the face of the throne, which is only possible if he ascended high. Question mark. The Gemara answers, look how you read this. Ishtar revuve, ishtar vev, le kisei. He lowered the throne for him. Ishtar revuve, ishtar vev le kisei. He lowered the throne for him ad asara, until below 10 tvachim.
Right. So Hashem could go even further.
Right, but Hashem lowered it below the 10 tvachim, the nugget bay, and then Moshe Rabbeinu took a hold of it. Hashem says grab. Hashem says grab. Hashem says grab. Hashem says grab hold my throne. Now Hashem did not allow Moshe to ascend to the highest 10 tvachim. Rather, he lowered the 10 tvachim, and then Moshe Rabbeinu took a hold of it.
It didn't even need it. Hashem could have brought it all the way down.
Right, but because I know at this point Moshe Rabbeinu was in Shemayim getting the Torah, and the Malachim were trying to hurt Moshe Rabbeinu.
But that shows you the Malachei HaSharet are not next to Elohim. Nothing next to Elohim.
Wait.
So when you say Malachei HaSharet, that means
No, but they could be 10 tvachim away.
Wait, Yehuda,
you don't understand. I love this Gemara. I love this Gemara because I can.
Wait. Okay, let's read. I just read a few more lines here. Bishleima. which we mamish 2-3 lines here. Bishleima, it is good, Arain Tisha, that the Arain, the box.
So we're going back to the Raya.
Now,
Comes down to
now exactly. We want to go back and understand how do we know that Hashem descended until 10 Tvachim. Okay, now we're going back. You can add this. We're going back we're going to discuss the Arain now. We said that Hashem descended to the Arain, to the top of the Arain. How do we know the top of the Arain was 10 Tvachim? You could write, if you want to write, how do we know the Arain was 10 Tvachim? The Gemara is trying to figure out how do we know the Arain was 10 Tvachim? Bishleim Arain, it is good, the box, Tisha. The box is 9 Tvachim. Dichsiv, as the pasuk says, Va'asu Arain, you should make an Arain, Atze Shitim.
Seriously, I hate this line.
Atze Shitim, you should make it out of Shitim wood. Amasayim V'chetzi Arkai, 2.5 amos in length. The amma v'chetzi rachboi, and 1.5 amos in width. The amma v'chetzi kamasai, an amma and a half its height, and right on the side, an amma is 6 tvachim.
They get 1.5.
So an amma is 6 tvachim. So 1.5 tvachim is 9. 1.5 amos is 9 tvachim. An amma is 6 tvachim. 1.5 amos is 9 tvachim. So we know the actual box was what? We know the actual box.
This is the inside or the outside?
This is the metal outside, from the ground to the top of the metal. Okay.
how much Amma 6 Tvachim?
1 amma is 6 tvachim.
Chetzi is 9.
So an amma v'chetzi is 9.
And that's the height of it.
Yeah.
It's also the Rachba and the Kemas. Hold on.
But we don't care about the width right now. We're trying to figure out the height of it. We just care about the height right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to prove
Ella, however, kaperis, tefach, the tefach measurement of a kaperis, minolan. How do we know?
it was 1?
I haven't.
How do we know there was one tefach?
Yeah. The Tani Rabbi Chanina, Chanina learned, Kol HaKelim, all the Kelim, Sha'asa Moshe, the Moshe Rabbeinu made, Nasna Behen Torah, the Torah gave Midas Archan, the measurement of its length, Umidas Rachman, Umidas Kamasan, and the measurement of its height. Length, width, and height. Kapiris, Midas Archa, Umidas Rachva, Nasna. The Torah gave the length and width. Midas Kimasa, Loy Nitna. The measurement of its height was not given. Say Omad, go and learn. Be pachas for Sheba Kalim, from the smallest size of the Kalim.
Height or in general?
In height. Shenemar, as the pasuk says.
In general, we know this.
No, because we try to learn from the tzitz, which is the smallest thing.
Wait 1 second.
We didn't know that yet.
Shenemar, as the pasuk says, Basisalim is geras. You should make a rim. Shenemar, the pasuk says about the shulchan, right? About the shulchan. Shnemar, as a pasuk is about the shulchan, v'asisalai, you should make for it misgeres, a rim tefach saviv, a rim that's a tefach all around. It's a tefach in height, saviv all around. Misgeres is a rim tefach, a tefach in height, saviv all around. Mala halon tefach, just like over there by the rim, it's just like mala halon, just like by that rim, tefach was a tefach, afkan tefach. So too over here. By the kapiris, it should also be a tefach. Period for now. Can we stop the shir?